move forwards.
Utah's going to be seen at this point here, so they're aware G2 making moves over towards the B site. Players are a while away. Nothing used by SEN either to push this one back, and Bang was hoping that there was a potential opportunity there. Window where nobody was going to be watching for him, but he's swiftly dismissed.
Sentinels are hoping for kills so that they can get closer to ults, so that they can force them out of G2 in fear. But G2 just looking really solid.
It's a chokehold on every single point. No one can really step over that line here. Zelsis gonna have it in his mind. He doesn't really want to go down to them either. He'd hope to just go down to the spike, but he's revealed. Round to the corner. Trent even gets it. G2 in spots like this, doesn't matter that they're down rounds, they're still thinking about min-maxing.
They are. That's one of the worries. It's all well and good to say, well, Sentinels at some point will just get up to a huge amount of ultimates and they'll win a round. But if you're never forcing them out of G2, that round's actually going to be dead even. Yeah. It's just going to be chaos. Ults on either side.
Feno! I love it.
Dude, that would be the worst. Just like a silent arena, and it's just you.
Or do they want to save it for something where they've got a bit more backup? These are the difficult spots. These are the tough decisions for John to make. Because G2, they have everything to win this round. I mean, Jorg can crack open a site for them, and they've got good ults for post-plant or to stop retakes from coming through.
Even Leaf. Him and Zekken, two players who have been opted into the outlaw the most when they're tracking the money.
I'm a little late, my bad.
Yeah, there's 4 players.
I was sleeping.
Half armor, so could do some damage with that one on top of it here. Dimensional drift clears the way, spots out 3.
I was sleeping, but it's okay. It's just in time for SEN to go 3-0, honestly. There's no way they threw an 11-4 lead.
Back away here, but as the Thorns by his side stand up, spam into the corner. There's no real chance for him there. Too much util. Kitchen sink being thrown at him in the process. Jorgamo's earned his team a bit of a foothold as well.
Jorgamo.
As well, and causing a reclearance called for here by SEN. Wide face, John. Just step up to it. Armageddon out.
Recommitting this.
Into the back along with the pull. No players going to be falling prey.
Big round for John Cutie.
To stand down against most of this team. G2 starting to get their footing again. To this side, slowly but surely the discipline is there. Making sure that they can, and an unfortunate 140, but flips it well back around. Zelsis.
How do I feel about an IGL on Teo? I don't know about that, actually. I don't know if I'm a fan of that.
A bit of a worry, I think, at the back of Sentinel's minds.
Absolutely, there's going to be a worry. But I think there's a small silver lining that they did force so many ults out here. And John realized when Bang went down, okay, we are not playing for retake at this point. There's no smokes, so he wide swings out, tries to take the fights at art. But they forced out 3 ultimates for G2. They made it costly.
G2 don't go down swinging. Okay, let's see. We got the Vice ult, the Astra ult for G2. We got the Yoru and then Fade ult for Sentinels.
I mean, it's a hell of a gambit.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think
even though it is only 2 rounds.
This is a big round, actually. If SEN lose this, they'll probably lose some. Oh, they'll probably lose some ults. And it's gonna be 11-9 real quick. I think SEN need to stop the bleeding now.
G2 all the way forwards here. Quick approach in through connector. They have a lot of space. It's a deeper wall, though, being placed by Zelsis. It's not going to make the same mistake as last time, where they took the time.
Going into the Vice, I would argue they're a little bit weak on the B site there, but not by much with the Vice being there. Okay, that's a drone down.
Very much far forward here with a Seal Guard and Zelsis. Getting a bit of a move on. He's still going to be caught, though.
So he's not gonna have to go bit premature on that ult. Pre-fired that a little bit.
Used ult forced out of him just to try and get the hell out of there. Spots the 2 plays, making a bit of a wrap around and a move around. Sentinels haven't given up a lot of map control, though. The pivot is called for. G2 might find themselves in a bit of a trap.
30 seconds left.
Wall called, it's fakes on fakes, obfuscating where the intention is. G2 running their way back. Second though, spots it out. Space is still being held down, and he could be that difference maker. TP in.
Oh, they can't hear it. They can't hear it. They can't hear it. They left a little gap. Oh my god.
Completely hides the intent. Jorgamo, he wants a little bit more.
They might have just delivered a bit of a death blow here to Sentinels.
Holy fuck, Sentinels are gonna lose this game 13-11.
What's the case with the economy? Nightfall up and over. A lot of Q's cut away, but Yuto's going to be broken down anyway. Up through the top, Sentinels are going to be doubled up. Valen can't hear a thing. You have to rely on it. Raw reaction times, and a crossfire setup is there. G2, they let nothing slip. They hear it scurrying away. The rifles to remain.
Down.
At this point, it's becoming a reality. G2, they're feeling empowered.
That was such a nice play out of the strat book from G2. The Astra ult,
Wow.
disguising all of the audio cues so that Jorgamo can teleport into the tiniest little crack at the back of halls. Completely caught Zelsis off guard. And G2 don't allow Sen to escape with a single gun.
Jake, your wall was insane, bro. I think you're behind him. You didn't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not even from the strat book.
Improvised.
Josh is writing that one down. Wait, we've got to run that one again.
So wait a minute. Yeah, okay, they think it's a fake, and Joel gets in.
That was nasty good. I mean, yeah, they've got to ask the players at the end if we get a chance to talk to them.
That's not going to be going through these players' mind, though. Sentinels on our screen here. It's the second timeout taken. Spells it all out, I think. This is a worrying sign. Kaplan having a stern word with them.
Now, they called to go for the Gambit.
I let
and
him know,
you said it was very
Kaplan.
risky in the previous round, right? They
You
pulled up,
let
they had a
him know.
Bulldog, a Guardian, light armors on everybody,
You tell him
and
what's
they
good.
chose to invest 2 big ultimates. They used the Euro ult and the Fade ult to try to retake. But they're still going to get up to about 3 in this round. They still have Steel Garden to work with, Bang can ult in order to help them retake, and that's really difficult for G2 to deal with.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And there's a Tejo ultimate online here as well, potentially for John QT. Now, I'm not saying that they should use them right here.
I mean,
because
I
the
hit that
money
every
is
season
so
in
bad.
ranked, and no one's
But
applauding
for
for
the next
me, bro.
round,
Hello?
eventually, finally, Sentinels will have some level of an ult advantage and equal rifles.
They just need
But
that tipping point.
All they need is one. Surely at some
I don't
point,
even
Sen
have
will
a chat
be able
open.
to
I'm
get
a
it.
fucking idiot.
But thus far, in this half, they've only been able to get
Oh
the
my
one
god, I'm
round.
getting follows. I don't
G2
have
have
this shit
6.
open. Hold on.
Jonah P, risky here. You're up against the weaker buy. He is so far forwards, but immediately
Clara,
backing away.
209. Thank you. Add me on Discord. Nah, bro, I'm
Dangerous
chilling.
if Sen were ready to really jump on the opportunity, but seeing it salvos into the back is a fast play. All in. TP back, salvos.
Love your
For the team
content. Joining
damage,
your next
Jormo
stream
sets
with
the clone forwards
friends.
first. That's a stinger in
Ooh,
your face, and the
thanks,
team does
dog.
help out. Strength from the side. Tucked up onto the corner, though. Zeltis eventually cleaned up there with a trade.
One enemy remaining.
And it's all watched for. Plan an attempt to disrupt by Narrate.
Spike planted.
But this was their half by round.
Oh my
G2
god,
will
center
be up to
gonna
9 as a
throw.
result
Center
of it.
throwing, center throwing, center throwing.
And I said previously, round 19 had to be where Sentinels stopped the G2 comeback. But this next one, with 3 ults for Sentinels, assuming that John doesn't just die to Spike here. Okay, with 3 ults available for Sen, rifles online, and G2 have no ults at all. If Sen don't win this, I don't see how they're winning the map, because this has got to be the most advantaged they've been in the entire half.
They have almost everything.
The problem is G2 have been working them so well.
Yeah.
I mean, here, Jonah P pulling a couple of people off B. They get that free teleport into the back of halls.
Tempo increase.
And Narrate, he's not as emotionally stressed as we saw him earlier on in the year. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but you can tell that the pressure's getting to him a bit. They're down 0-2 in the series, and G2 are pulling off a monster comeback.
All smiles earlier for Sentinels for good reasons, but as you said, it's starting to crack. G2, very real run of things here with the amount of rounds that they've been able to pull together. A main control, maintained for now by Zekin.
Let's see what we got going on here.
G2
This is
on
our...
presence. Decoy forwards in the hope that there is a wall here.
We're not playing for overtime, that's for sure.
Now, Bang's position I quite like, because Jorgamo's been going for halls teleports, which means that the rest of the team isn't really going to have that Yoru flash to go through the smoke. Do they mix things up? Bang takes the timing inside.
All grouped up, Bang. You've been a playmaker, and you are once more! Immediately ripped away! Dodging and weaving as bullets whistling past. He's grazed. Limping out of the fight for now, but he's bought time and a lifeline for Sentinels themselves. It's what they needed.
They so desperately needed Bang to be a hero.
Oh, he hit that kid.
30 seconds left.
Stray spam again.
Concealment.
Any player at G2 could fall at a moment's notice, but now here it is. Second wave of the Utah once more off to the corner. That's a stun! Bang! Still, where's the response? Still
huge round
Gavin is
from
there. No
Bang.
weapons at all. Nothing to work
Ooh,
with. Shorty in
one
hand.
leaf.
Trent does the best that he possibly can. But finally the tipping point.
And it wasn't the ults that made the difference in the end. Celsius throws
Oh
his in,
fuck, there
but
are
it's all
Sen
Bang.
Sen fans in the crowd, bro. All I've been
Finally,
hearing is
after 6
G2.
rounds in a row from G2, Bang figures out a little gap, a small window of opportunity, where Jorgamo was prepping that flash to pop out through the smoke.
Enemy remaining.
Bang catches them.
Oh, nice. Nice, boys. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's a scream of relief. That's
Yes.
a release of tension that has been building for Sentinels. And now a bit of a
Straight into it,
scrap.
man. Yeah, these are
Oh my
players,
God,
these are
we're
bodies that are
going,
going to
we're
be facing
fighting.
up here. Sentinels!
We
It's
still
almost
got the
everything
tail
thrown at
ult.
them.
We still got the tail
On either
ult.
side here for G2. They get the advantage now. Dimensional drift.
I like this from G2.
Set the
Immediately
pace a
back
bit
into
differently here.
it.
You could speed up on the backside of it here, especially with Jorgamo spotting out two of the players. Thorns drop down. Dimensional drift is going to be faving. And now that Armageddon paves the way potentially to success for them.
Tail ult
Jorgamo,
comes
you gotta
out.
try and get the hell
Jajimo
out of there,
really,
close to
somebody
the even
really
bullet
needs to kill
for it. And the call
Jajimo.
was made to try and fight forward.
Flash,
Sentinels.
flash,
It's about how they
flash.
absorb this now. It's a gambit to be played, but the
Oh.
round swings on its head. Jorgamo rips away two lives. Sentinels have got to get it done now with just Celsius and Bang. Spam into
he
the corner.
dinked.
It's one and over and over. Bang.
2v4
Still
for the win.
spam them down, leaves it just down to Celsius. It's too much to
I
overcome.
need to fuck Kaplan and
G2
freaking the
not
fuck
done
out
yet.
right now.
Deciding to turn up the tempo massively there, putting crazy early round pressure on with the Tejo ultimate. Sentinels trying to throw the kitchen sink at G2. Here's those 2 kills though. I really like what they're going for. A Prowler.
I really
so that you
like the
draw
fast
all of
bounce
ice
back
forwards
into
and
it.
then a Yoru flash afterwards. The combo is good, but Jorgamo spams 2 of the Sentinel players down as they're trying to retake Secret. The economy's crushed. And this is all going to come down to the final round, Bren, as to whether or not we go to OT.
Yeah, surely
Unless
Sentinels don't win this
some sort
one.
of
Right?
miracle. We've seen it before.
Full save on Sentinel's side. They're playing for overtime now.
It's a bait and switch. Hoping that they wouldn't expect him to just be creeping up there, but no damage. No kill, I should
I
say. Damage
mean-
definitely done to Leaf.
Bro,
Zen,
Zelsis, they're going to be
try
expecting
respond
at
to
this
thinking
time.
that it was going to be one of the B execs
Oh
that
my
G2
God,
have
we're
been
sending
running.
three.
Are we clear too? They have too many bodies on this side of the map. They needed the info. They need to spread the defense out again.
Jorgamo's causing all sorts of mayhem. Making all sorts of noise as well. He's pulling bodies straight back. Sen were having
What?
to fast rotate.
We
to try and follow where the
literally
action
just
could go.
peeked it. There's no one
Making the
there.
action
What are
still
you
can be big.
doing?
The spike is still over in that direction, but G2 look like they've got the read from Leaf. They should be heading away from Jorgamo. Jorgamo fires a couple of extra shots, just trying to keep bodies secure on the B site. And he's kept them there. 4 players for Sen, none of them budging an inch.
My ult is ready.
From QT Dodo.
I'm so
Lots of
disappointed.
salvos. When he sees this one coming, he's going to be able to at least respond to delay this plan from going down. Chooses to use
Thorns
them
as
early.
well.
Yeah,
Prowler
Thorns.
coming out.
This slow
or,
with time bought.
But this is going to be a plant. This is going to be post-plant setups.
Into the side.
John QD, huge fucking
This
round.
could be
I mean,
it.
this guy's 21 and
Talk
12
about a
on the
turning point. All
tail.
it takes is one more round, and John QT delivered them a worldie of a round
I just
so
don't like
far.
the tail on
Enough to potentially
the
take
IGL,
them
though.
to the finish
That's just
line.
weird,
Oh, it's
though.
expanded
Oh
at this
my.
point. Jonah rips away 2, but he needs more where that came from. Off to the side of Jar with a movement. Weaving in and
There's
out.
the world. There's the world.
Sentinels.
GG.
They've done it.
GG.
Still alive. And Pearl is theirs to claim.
Holy fucking
At the
air raid service,
11th
bro.
hour, 2 heroes stepped up for Sentinels. Bang on a rifle
Let's
round,
go,
and John
Sen.
Cutie with a 2K
Fuck, there's
spray
actually some
down
fucking
with a
fans
stinger
there, too.
in secret.
Yeah.
Kind of player I don't think I've seen to win 13-10. But that was a 10-2 half, and G2 almost pulled off a comeback.
And the heart's going to be pumping, man.
Pretty reminiscent, actually, of the last time we saw these 2 teams play on Ascent, where a ridiculous first half from Sen and an almost comeback for G2. That's the map we're headed into next.
That's the map we're heading into next, huh? get this shit popping, bro. Wordle. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, fuck, there's an O and a U, too. I didn't even notice. Fuck. I had 4 letters. I didn't even notice. That was an easy one. Yeah, I'm so bad at connections, bro, but I got this shit. What's up?
You did?
I was just streaming this.
They were like, dude, your brother's just pretty fucking good, dude.
Oh,
He's
shit.
crazy shit.
Yeah, I had a pretty good fade game, but then the team fell apart. I was playing like shit. That was the last game of the night.
But yeah, well, that's when I came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shoved to you too, eh? One of my friends?
Yeah, you did.
Very
Yeah, you did. I was so close to my first Twitch payout. Actually,
nice, dude. That's so sick.
he got me so close. I was like $10 away. Now I think I'm pretty close. 338.
Eh,
So
yeah, sir.
so $50. We're close. We're close. We're getting there.
That's so
Milo, can you relax? Yeah, when are you gonna start streaming?
I wasn't playing yesterday.
You weren't playing yesterday?
No, fucking shit yesterday.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't take a Violence yesterday, but I did the other 2 days.
Yeah.
I think that's why. And I felt like shit, like I was so nauseous.
Interesting.
Or maybe, I don't even know, maybe it was the noodles I ate.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
Yo, is the water clean here at the tap water?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I think it's the water.
Oh.
Because I drank a whole glass of water,
Yeah.
and I just fucking threw up.
Oh, word. Yeah, maybe we need to get one of those, what are they called? The water filtering things.
Oh, yeah.
What are they called? It's gonna bug me. There's like a really big brand. Brita filters.
Oh, Brita filters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hairy guy, the guy that subbed you, he's the crazy guy. He's crazy.
Yeah, I was already telling them that. I was like, Harry, you must be my brother's friend, bro. My brother be gassing you up like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what did I say? I was like, yeah, my brother been saying you're the truth. Shit. And he showed me his YouTube. Yeah, I was watching some of his clips.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's pretty sick.
Yeah, he is the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael. I'm sorry, bro. But you got a bit.
The breath?
Yeah.
No.
Shit stank, dude.
All 3 of you in the hallway? You guys kicked out?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
She was.
I know, but the door's closed, so
Oh.
maybe she went out. Or
Oh, I see.
actually, they'd probably be down sick if she went out.
Yeah, right.
Fuck yo, you been killing the pop hit?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I had a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like 5-6 cans yesterday. There's only like 10 left.
Dude, I don't know. I only drank like 2 cans yesterday. I only drank like 3 cans out of that whole second flat.
Okay, I don't think it's me then.
It has to be.
No. I think mom's drinking a lot too. Because I didn't have that many.
13-10? Oh, I thought they lost.
No, they won, dude. They're on my. They're on
I
my.
thought they through, like slowly through.
No. They're almost out though.
Oh shit, yeah, they're down 2-0.
Yeah.
Oh, that map will blow.
Chewy.
Yeah, fuck. I made sure to thank them for giving you a sub.
Dude, yeah, I thanked them like crazy.
Oh
Man.
yeah, dude, that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah. What's the last one here, bro? Jam.
Ingredients in bubble tea. Boba.
No. That one's solved already.
Oh.
Solo Chewy Darth. I need one more Star Wars reference, but I don't know what it is.
I'm not good at this shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Dry string a tough shred. Okay. Bro, so bad. It's so close. Like, these 3 are definitely one. I just don't know what the last one is. Guinness. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's so whack. Like 3 of them are like so obvious, and then
One of them's fucked.
yeah. Dry, tough, stringy.
I feel like stringy shred. Oh, maybe. Dry, chewy, tough.
Stringy?
Yeah, right?
Eh?
Hey.
Wow. But yeah.
These ones just don't make sense, do they?
No, they do not.
Darth, Jim. Shred.
What the fuck?
Shred solo. Nah,
What the fuck is Bluto? Bluto.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Jam, Bluto, Shred, Solo. Okay. Sure.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Thanks, your pen?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Damn, look at those in-ears, bro. Those looking uncomfortable as fuck.
Do they bring their own in use, or is that ones they provide?
No, they probably actually, you know what? They probably bring their own in-ears. This guy's probably got the same ones Tens has. Probably this guy's a big Tens fan. Actually,
They look pretty heavy, honestly.
those like custom made ones that like fit to your ear
Just
perfectly.
right in there, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, needed
The Red Bull.
W advertisement.
Yeah, they're going
Actually.
to be trying to stave that off, but that is a hallmark
Yeah,
of
trophy
Ascent.
doesn't look too
You
bad.
can go on such a run when you're on that defensive side that you can just end up not being able to make the comeback because you're down by so many
Oh
rounds.
my god, this guy's changing the schemes.
By the same coin, John QT was up 2-1 in the series, right? I'm sorry, down 2-1 in the series when they were back in the finals
the claws.
of Ascension. When Fallon and the boys defeated him,
I like the
got their
only
spot
claw.
in the partnership system, and have
I
now
like the
found
energy
themselves
going.
here in their second chance to go back to back to win a second trophy in the row in Americas.
Would be huge for them, of course. The question is, can Sentinels push this one to a 5th map? Well, folks, Ascent is coming up right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Counter-Strike, I think.
Oh shit. Have fun, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, bro.
I haven't played CS yet. Fuck, I should play some. Just kidding. Also remember when this shit dropped too.
For really to stay alive in tournaments and a chance to grab that trophy in front of you. Not just a chance, I mean, you will be lifting it if you can win the whole thing.
We've been gifted as well with some of these maps just starting on the perfect sides for the narrative.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Split, we got a rerun of seeing Sentinels on defense and how they'd adjusted that. Now we're going into Ascent, and it's the perfect narrative again. We get to see G2 on the attack side and see whether their Waylay, which I think you can spot there at the top right, is actually going to be able to find those openings. They must have made adjustments, but Sentinel's game plan was so strong at being able to shut down Jorgamel.
That's the big thing, I think. G2 is definitely going to be focusing on making sure that that doesn't happen again. Able to get into these fights. When I was watching the VOD back this morning,
Alright, Sen. 2-2, come on. John Cutie, you're better than
by
Valor.
rushing into things, but Sen definitely had a heavy read.
Alright, so we got a
to where they
Sen.
needed to place most of the players to try and
Sen.
push back, usually FUD defending, fighting them often and early.
Better.
But it's the thing with rematches. Sometimes the same game plan, the same anti-strats will often not really work.
Better.
G2 are going to be making adjustments of their own. Not quite in terms of composition,
wins. You know
definitely in
what I'm
terms of the
saying?
ideas, I imagine.
Yeah, you've got to imagine that they've looked at that VOD and have some alterations. Because if you're not going to change the Waylay, you have to change how you play the Waylay.
Ascent is fun. We love Ascent.
Sen had so much momentum in that first half of Pearl.
Fun to watch. It's pretty
Trickled
much
up
a
slightly, but it ended strong with some big individual
It's pretty much a
moments,
solid
some
map,
hero
so it really
plays.
just comes down to the IGLs. I also think it's attacker-sided, and everyone else says it's defender-sided, but
versus
what do I know?
Sen, who are now feeling like the comeback might be doable. Who's in a better position here as we head into Ascent?
Absolutely. And now, listen, momentum might have been taken away towards the tail end of that map for Sentinels. They had to drag it over the finish line to get here on Ascent, but
they got the better side. I mean, Ascent is so important starting on defense.
And here we see it once more. Knives going to be exchanged on either side here. Now, position of the knife was getting antied quite hard by MIBR. Aspas was taking liberties pushing into mid. It looks like Zekken wants to have a chance of his own.
There's three there, bro.
Committed! Oh my, almost doesn't matter, but still traded out in the end. That's Valin. Pushed up deep now, and just like that, first domino falls, the rest of them topple.
Yeah, a couple of players over towards Catwalk, really wanting to try to force the fight, hoping that the rest of G2 would still be focused on Zekken.
But that opening, I think, tells me quite a lot when I'm watching this VOD back. And like I said, when G2 were playing against MIBR, the position of the knife and their opening defaults were getting antied hard. They're already making changes and moves and maybe coming to fruition unless John can do something about it here and now, but no. Too much there. Weaving in and out, playing off each other beautifully.
And you talk about momentum. This pistol round on the attack side is hyper important on Ascent. on the attack side of Ascent, you might only win 3-4 rounds on the attack side total.
Yeah.
So being able to pick up a pistol and probably the follow-up is enormous. Just changes the numbers so much.
Major difference indeed. Zelsis looking around here, but almost expected here
Nice
by
try.
Leaf.
Well played.
So we got
You think
the
about
Jet
the
versus the
run that
Waylay.
Sentinels
Everything else is
went
the
on At the
same.
very beginning of Pearl, they were able to string 7 rounds together in a row by chaining these ultimates, by getting themselves into positions. And
We
forcing
have
G2
G2
down
on
onto
attack
Ecos
first.
constantly.
They're 101 pistols.
Really good denial of that mid-fight.
101 pistols. 101
Nice.
pistols for
Yo,
G2.
we're halfway there.
I mean, that might be a reference
Ooh.
to Valen saying that we only need 2 on the attack side. This map is by far and away our most, one-sided map that we have.
Here we go.
currently.
Yeah,
It's
everybody says it's
crazy
defender-sided.
defense usually.
Yep, see? That's wrong. It's attacker-sided because the map is solved, so you can do
But
anything you
even when
want.
they're not in a match like this, last time we just saw teams.
I
rack
think
up
it's attacker-sided.
defense
I
round
think
after
it
defense
just
round
really
over and
depends
over
on the
again.
IGL. If you have a good IGL, it's
Taken out.
attacker-sided as fuck.
Sentinels,
I don't care what
Zika
anybody else
rounds,
says.
been setting up trap plays.
Just the way the
Trap
map
over
is
towards B.
designed. You just have to split
Yeah, but the
push,
gamble
and you have
this
to
one.
use your
And looking like it's going the wrong
people
way.
accordingly, bro. I don't care.
A flash into B main, just for some
I
information.
refuse to accept the fact that it's fucking defender-sided. Nope, not me.
That doesn't reveal a thing here. Could use some util to at least try and push G2 back into the trap play that they got cooked up a while. Nade into the corners. Found a slight window here, and yep, he takes it straight towards the back, but classic at hands, not the weapon of choice.
The Tejo drone is so powerful in that spot to realize whether or not there's a stack on the site. Trent giving tons of info to Valen as to whether or not they should cancel this push into A. Now Sen, honestly, they just, I would say, want to die to the spike, because you do not want to charge up these ultimates. This is the worst map in the entire game if the attacker starts some kind of ult snowball, because you're expected to get so many defense rounds.
It's the play here for Sen. You are right. I mean, the spike might just be the most optimal.
And so,
Side
think about this
show.
from G2's perspective. You
Lock
actually
the
want to go and
fucking
find
room.
where they're hiding to try to die to spike. G2 really should try to break the wall and go
Trying
for
to pop
this.
through this one at the final moment here.
Oh
A
my
lot of
God.
util going to be expended though. Jorgum already up, and that's half on the defuse. He's earned it. Oh!
Too bad there's a Teo in the game.
Could be problematic.
That actually was winnable.
Yeah, if the idea there was to die to spike, not really accomplished. Trent picking up 3 with the salvos towards the end.
I don't think that was
I
the
don't
idea,
really think
though.
the Sen ever thought there was a ninja defuse on the cards there.
3 kills. Let's go, Nate. Imagine.
Zekken living in a world where that ninja defuse happened would have been an incredible moment. And G2 not super close to the ultimate, so they don't have to worry about that too much right now. But this is the round, I think, where we can really take a look at how G2 have adjusted their attack side. Because this, they're probably going to bring out a set strat, a set tactic, to try to set Jorgamo up for success. And they've threatened a little bit of A main control. They smoke A main in order to threaten that they could be through wine and getting ready to pop. But my eyes, again, are on Jorg. How does he play this?
Jamo.
We're going to get set up. No bodies on the Sen side to receive him though.
They're using the Vice Flash so nicely for info. They just flash close mid to let them know that there's nobody here. So Jorg can walk in here without using the Tejo drone, without using smokes even.
They're still being saved here by G2. What a util here by G2. They're just trying to potentially pull players. Util of their own. Over the wall, Jorgamo just dropped. Celsius has his eye on that one.
That's the most common position for the Vice Wall, so a bit strange that G2 got caught out heavily by it there.
A lot of pressure though still being applied, and that means 3 players of Sentinels are still here, so anchoring onto the side, it's all onto Celsius and Zekken. See if they can stand tall against most of this one. Only the one for Zekken before he does go down, and a pause is called for. G2 don't have a lot of time to work with. They're hoping that Sentinels will overplay themselves, potentially into them, but now they got to try and make a move forwards, and Zeltis could be that win condition. Not quite just a 1, but yeah, right from the side, narrate.
Good shit.
Nicely done overall.
Well played from those B players, Zelsis in particular. But I'm a bit confused by what G2's game plan was there. Don't know whether Jorgamo thought that he would get market for free. But Zelsis is almost always going to have a setup that's designed around punishing that. Earlier on this stage,
boys, let's go. Let's go.
Zelsis looked a little bit shaky
vibe
on the
merchant.
Vice. He was putting his walls in some unusual spots, but he's really tightened up his game. He's in a great spot now on this defense side, where it can be a nightmare trying to run B-splits against him.
Let's go G2. I hear that every fucking round, dude. It's gonna live in my head rent free, bro.
Another
I'm gonna be like
defaulty beginning to
asleep at night dreaming, and all of a sudden I'm just gonna hear, let's go G2.
Not going straight into executes. Not giving easy cues for Sentinels to realize where Jorgamo's going to be popping from. It's much more about working the map. G2 starting by threatening some A main control, then they've been going back to mid and trying to run B splits or A splits.
Mike's in the middle of nowhere though.
Trent's got his ult.
Yeah,
This
the goal
should
was
be
just
an
to
easy
slowly
round for
work them out,
G2.
G2. Throw and push back, make sure that
The only question, oh my god, Bang's lit.
Nothing stopping him from
Bang's lit
reclearing
to
it, though.
102.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are the reclears going to come through? And here it is, pop flash into A main, and Bang gets some more information. So he realizes that G2 are not over towards A right now, but this actually gives Valen
I think,
a good
honestly,
time to end A.
it would be a W to
because
get
Sen are
this
gonna
ult
start to
out
lean the
from
defense
Trent.
off the site as Bang clears
For
A main.
Sentinels, I think...
Slow crawl towards it. Sentinels. So have players here, the rate joining.
Oh, he's gonna use it anyway.
Sure that
They don't even have to do
sufficiently
anything. They
defended
really want
there.
to secure
Up
this round.
retreat,
But they got
Alligators
full
doesn't need
guns
to be
with a bunch of
watchful
people
bang.
lit.
Salvos at your feet as well. That's a tricky spot indeed, but already dashed
Sure.
in, disengaging, and now the double faces there from
Oh yeah, the
G2.
crossfire.
Anticipated with Bang's position.
Alright, narrate,
Takes
swing.
out two of them
No,
immediately.
no.
Sight potentially theirs as well. The rate just trying to pick them
Judge, no, you're
apart.
trolling.
Trades there instantaneously.
While
Trent
getting out the
finds it 2v2 now.
tail ult and winning the
Spot
round
G2
is
are in as well, without
actually
too
kind
much
of
control of
crazy.
anything else. Uncertainty. That smoke phase as well.
Actually.
Zelsis might be caught very unaware. Just want to push, and he's already isolated just the one. And Valen low enough that it should just be easy business. Yes,
That's a
indeed.
big round to win. That's a big round to win.
An incredibly important round for Sen to convert. A 2v2. Those can get really dangerous against G2. But Sen fought them in the choke point. Look how quickly Jorgamo was forced to use his refract. He got in with a double dash and a bunch of util. I mean, G2 used tons of utility to try to set him up, but he was forced to recall immediately.
Look at you go. Look at you go. God.
Now G2 with Stingers and a Guardian. And thus far, haven't really seen that value from the Waylay that we're looking for. Many more rounds here, though, to study. And Zekken was amazing at the start of this series. White hot, and the action's coming towards him.
Paranoid knife, Salvos at your feet as well. This is a dangerous spot for Zekken to be placed in. It's already taken damage as a result of it. Straight spam. Phantom in hand, flash as well. Pushes Zelsis back into a potential spot as well where he could do that damage. It's exchanged with the fire. Kills are being found. Sentinels getting it still. It's a double face up in the end by G2. Almost wrangling control of the rifle for the two-piece, but it is all there. Controlled. Corral, G2. No more options.
That's
here
getting
for Valen.
feisty.
Drone gives up
Oh,
position. Still gets to one.
that's good
Narrates
shit.
quick to make sure that that's all it is.
And no opportunity for G2 to get through that choke. Completely stuffed. Zelsis with a gorgeous flash. Salvos coming in from Narrate as well. Jorgamo used his dashes just to kind of avoid the salvos. He double dashed inside B main.
What's the last map?
I
Does
didn't
anybody
buy my
know?
second smoke. God damn it, Sean. Why would you do that?
Oh, I didn't catch that, but thankfully it didn't matter at all for them. But maybe that's the reason why Sen were fighting so hard. I think it was a good strategy in the end, though.
Knife over the top. This was weighted out by Narrate, so it's not spotted. Still has util if needed.
It's a round where you can go for a pretty big ult play for G2. The convergent paths can be deadly.
He's got his refract. He wants to try and bait this wall out, which he has done. Back to mid, back to safety.
That's important. Zelsis has been really good at defending his wall from Yoru clones. Jorgamo has to put his body on the line, so it's a little risky, but he gets away with it. And now he's got a good angle to go for his ult. He can ult into A main if they get info that Bang's playing there, or into sight if they see John.
It's a flash rebound here. Sen are going to be aware that this is fake pressure over towards CAD. Still in control of it. Jump spot gets a good acknowledgement. Oh my, that's a bullet to the head though that you're not looking for. Still, we're going to see it now.
Oh.
Dividing straight up into the side here with the salvos towards the back once more. Jorgamo needs to lead the charge for the rest of his team. They don't have control of main though, and a dash straight forwards into the arms of Leaf. Here the Thorns waiting for Natty Armageddon. This is going to be chaotic indeed. Swinging from the side though, just finding that timing to steal Garden. Rips away a lot of the weapons, but the util is still good.
2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2
Chances
seconds.
and more. Zelsis finally removed. Thorn in their side. Bang and John QT, they're here.
Dude, I couldn't even follow that round, or what the fuck was going on.
All watched for high-low setup at G2.
It's like 6 ults going off, and then all of a sudden Jajmo's peeking the smoke CT and tapping someone, and then it all fell apart from there.
G2 are getting into sights just by walking in together. Obviously, Lee
no.
gets a bit of a freebie there. They caught Zekken dead to rights in B main.
Do you see how many fucking abilities they used to get there?
Used his dash just to cut up the market angle. He didn't dash out of market. He'd already used
Sideshow's tilting me, bro. Usually Sideshow's pretty good, but he's kind of choking this broadcast.
And this is, I think, already a pretty successful attack half for G2.
Yeah, from what we know, at least how SEN is operated.
And with how good their defense was before.
Yeah.
The Waylay, pretty underrated actually on defense. The Saturate is difficult to get through. SEN probably need another hero round here. Maybe from Zekken with the Blade Storm, or Bang over towards A main, who's been phenomenal.
Deep drone. Leaf's going to be inserted as well into that forward position.
That's a lot of information.
Pass most of the here, the flash in the peak. That's a great refight. Sentinels can overextend into this spot, but with nothing much in their backs, they're trying to carve out a path out towards Tree. They've dropped the spike in their laps, though. Definite options here, and Sentinels could capitalize. Flipping the map entirely from them, and what a shot by Bang! Still, he wants to step up even more here. There's confidence. You can see it in the way that he's playing. Bullets are going to be ringing out, but they overwhelm.
A massive round for Sentinels with bad weaponry. They caught G2 with that little flash re-clear over towards Tree and put them in a really uncomfortable position. G2's game plan in this round was to try to condition Zelsis that anytime his wall is popped in mid, it's a fake. And this time actually Leaf just walked straight through it. So they were hoping that Leaf's lurk would pay dividends.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that.
It doesn't.
Nice, boys! Let's go.
It's pretty fast, it's pretty chaotic,
Time
but
out.
it's Sentinels coming out on top, making it look pretty.
Yo, what do I play later?
I think it's got Kaplan stressed in the back over there.
Low key, I need to get 90 defense in RuneScape, so I was thinking about AFKing that. But I could also do some Moon's Apparel, loot some lunar chests and see what's going on.
Another game plan from G2, another better buy from G2. And now, KO ultimate for Jonah P. Josh RT is going to take attack timeout, the first one that they have access to. And so Sentinels are going to need to do an anti-KO ult setup. So Zelsis playing pretty far away from the Thorns, throw those over to a different player. See if we can get long-range support. And possibly, you know, eyes on John to be using his KO ult reactively.
Look at that.
I mean, look at this. This is the post-plant meta.
Retake
folks.
out of
One
17
opportunities.
opportunities.
17 opportunities.
Now, Pearl, both teams are playing Astra.
Yeah, that's
so
Pearl,
as
though.
As well as the Salvos
Nah.
to have to deal with. But
Yeah, his post-plant meta is
That's
pretty
a little bit
cringe.
different. Bit easier to follow the sound cues, just stunt the hits before they even come in.
yeah, honestly, a lot of the time you're not even in a good spot when you plant on this map. You've taken so much damage getting to the sites. So look, Zekken is on A with all of that Vice util, and Zels is playing on the other side of the map so that the KO ult from Jonah P can't catch him.
Primed something there with the salvos held onto the appropriate angle, saturated into the corner.
He was
John.
expecting a flash.
Yeah, he was. Turned to the side, almost expecting it, as you said, pre-anticipated, and watching all the angles as well as that response from Sentinels dragged them out.
This is just unbelievably good from Jorgamo to be able to pick up that second kill as well. A 5v3.
Smoke
Maybe
fading,
I'll play some World of
respiration
Warcraft. We're
again,
kinda down
called
to
for.
do
Bang
that,
has to
actually.
take risks in this spot. It just doesn't clear the right corner. Whiffy a little bit, but Jorgamo gets the job done. And this is all just with 50 seconds left to play with. G2
I
just
wonder how dead the
down their
classic
ground.
realms are now.
Yeah, there's so much time.
Ooh, I also have to max a
serious
character in
focus
Cataclysm
on
before.
mid. Baiting out Zelsis'
Let's
wall.
go 100
Wasn't there this time.
Thieves.
Thrown it over towards A.
Or G2. Oops.
But I think G2 know that. They're going to be running an anti-KO setup. So mid's going to be weaker.
Can Zek get it done? He has a lot of util to try and play with here, but already dashed back into the salvos.
You just needed to back up a bit. Oh, that's my box, dude. Dice, bro.
Zelsis,
I play
he had
dice
a couple
all
of
the
4Ks
time.
on Pearl, but this, in a 1v4, doesn't seem doable for him. The money's still going to be okay for Sentinels, but it gives G2 a much-needed economic cushion, because last couple of rounds, they've had like 1 or 2 players with a stinger.
Yeah. They've been kind of broke.
Band-Aid kind of
Scrapping together
bits and bobs, yeah.
Difficult decision to make for Zelsis. He has the money to buy for next, but you don't want to feed up the ult to G2 as well.
No, you absolutely don't. Jorgamo could get another conversion path online. Second already. And Jonah, the threat of the null command was actually more important here than even using it.
Yeah.
Zelsis recognizes that there's a null command on the other side, so he changes up his Vice setup entirely. That leaves a gap in mid that they have to fill with bodies. And G2 just walk down mid and take the fight. So a great identification of how the game changes just based on threat.
The zone flash, I think, as well, he was trying to avoid.
Was it really?
I'm not too sure. Don't know what happened to it. Something exploded on screen. Missed it. Either way, this is 4-4 now, and G2, their attack side is looking mighty better.
Yeah, a much slower approach, less execute heavy, but really working well. Zelsis goes back to the same mid wall, and he's playing on site with his util. So if Jonah P pops some kind of fast B hit, Zelsis will not have access to any of this. But I think if it was going to happen, it would have been the previous round. So he's calling the bluff of G2.
Trying up through mid again. Make sure you clear all the angles. Second, he's been playing up close sometimes in through mid. Dash back with a conversion pass. No risk to be taken this time, though. Just trigger the wall and get back again. But SEN look like they're gearing up potentially to refight this one once more. Salvo's here. Onto the one side and the other. He's going to be used in response there with a saturate. You can see it pushes back. Zekken, barely alive, just has to updraft and scuttle himself away, but he's dropped down to low HP.
Jorg looking for a timing.
And here's a fight to be had. Narrate. Realizing it, there was a gap there. He's making sure to control that space up through it.
And Zekken backed off to lane instead of B main. Remember last time he got caught in B main on the B split. Now adjusting his setup.
This is a slow siege indeed by G2, still waiting for that util. The knife does rain down.
If Jonah uses his ult, all of this Vice util will go.
Very pushing forwards, here it is. Ults now used, suppression across the board. How do you battle your way out of this one for SEN? There's a timing to be taken through the smoke. Does Zelsis dare do it? The side players, they need some help, supportive util. Or do they Zekken just the one? Instant with the trade, again G2. Reign supreme across the site, but no extremity control into it, and time is of the essence. They need to get this plan down and it needs to be held. In a 3v3, definite chances, and SEN looking to take it now. Can increase the tempo with that null command up forwards as well. Jump spot gets the acknowledgement. All these players out, but Bang is just holding his ground. Util into his hands, snappy from Zelsis. Blind is even better. Up towards lane and a swing from behind. Very drilled by Sentinels.
Now that is a lovely retake from SEN. We saw there was only one successful retake attempt on Pearl. But here, what Bang was doing, jiggle peeking to see whether the threat at stairs was actually real or not before deciding whether or not to invest the paranoia. And so he saves it and can use it for a much better opportunity onto the site. Combos it with that KO flash and blinds up Jonah P at the same time as all of SEN move forward as a pack. Both teams actually playing the spacing game, how far away you are from your teammate, really, really well.
Yeah.
They're moving together as one unit, as a hive mind. And that's a big adjustment from how G2 were previously playing, but SEN sticking to what they're great at. Leaf is coming into this one with only a Sheriff.
Delay with the paranoia. Wall in your face and a flash in the face of Zekken. Took him all the way in. Oh, he's ripped his way back. Okay, refract.
Yeah, realizing that the Vice wall was here in B main. I don't think he actually realized he was about to die from logs. Gets a little lucky. But now that they've triggered out that wall, they know that there's nothing in mid. So you're expecting there to be bodies in mid, right? Because the wall isn't there.
Absolutely. They're gearing up to try and get control of B main again. It's a flash and a peek.
I would imagine that G2 are going to try to... Oh, hello.
They heard it.
Yeah. So Trent wants to re-clear this area. Push back Zekken.
Yeah, realizing they can't really threaten the rest of the map if they've lost B main control the entire time.
But is this going to end up being a pop onto A? with the convergent paths. Because Jorgamo, he doesn't have refract, but he still can close the gap and do a lot of damage.
No, they're not gonna ult here.
Held here. Bang, he's just jump spotting on
Maybe tree.
And Narrate is going to be under crazy pressure because when this
I'd
comes
ult
into
tree
a main,
here.
if he turns his
Get
back
that
for a
tail
moment,
down.
there's a backstab on Catwalk.
Already laying down
Then
the
he can
smoke.
take A through tree.
Wine going to be cleared. Narrate.
Here we go.
You stand against
Okay,
it.
the
It's gonna
ult
be
tree
turned up
came
now,
in,
straight
yep.
away. Convergent Path's going to be slowing it down to a crawl double dash up and over towards the
There we
side.
go.
Safety there, bang. Paranoia.
That's a good
Put
take.
enough time
That's a
forward
good
and even
take. That's
dodge
a good
that one to
take.
saturate to the side. Bang!
Yeah, but you're taking
That's
against Bang.
unbelievable.
That's my fault.
And just like that, scattered to the wind. Jonah P and Leaf are forced to do it all. Smoke's in your face as well, and bullets are raining down on you. Umbrella's not going to be saving you much from that one. Leaf, very awkward spot indeed. ISO's one. Position noted though, expecting a second updraft over towards the top. How the hell do you control that? You cannot. So well played in the moment.
What movement from Zekken! But cleaning up from a spot where Bang gave them the advantage.
Yeah.
That was masterfully played by Bang. The Paranoia, I think, caught onto 3 people, throws down a smoke to play around, and gets the kill onto Jorgu. I mean, probably shouldn't be jumping in that spot, but to be honest, he's trying to jump to play in his teammate, who just gets spray transferred. He is going wild.
This guy's fucking
Nice
zooted.
round
Look
from
at this
SEN,
guy, bro.
Because there were 2 players under immense pressure there. Narrate got ulted by the Waylay, and he managed to back off into a corner and avoid getting punished.
Jesus
also-
Christ. Oh no, we're adjusting the
Bang on
monitor?
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's been so good, Bang.
He's been unreal.
I think best smokes player that we have in Americas, I would say.
So far with the way that he's playing, yeah, and almost kryptonite to
Best
the way that
smokes
G2
player in
are as well.
America. Best
Yeah,
smokes
think
player.
about
I
the
can
difference
agree with
between
that.
these
I
two
can
smokes
agree
players,
with
right?
that.
Valen has been talking so much. He's been so open and vulnerable in terms of discussing, after Bangkok, the journey mentally that he's been on, trying to figure out what he could do individually to improve, and then realizing, actually, it's not about him as an individual. It's about him as a leader, as an IGL.
Guy
to help
plays
the
on
rest of
max
his team
digital
improve.
vibrance,
Now, Bang
bro.
doesn't
Waylay's
have any
arms
of
look
that.
fucking
Bang doesn't
orange.
have to worry about leading the team and being the caller. He can just focus on playing the best individually he possibly can.
His
And
own game.
he's playing incredibly.
You can feel the, I think there's pressure for G2 here. This is, I believe, both timeouts expended at this point.
But again, if you zoom out, this is still a good attack half.
Right, exactly. The point
So-
being that so much emphasis placed on the attack side, G2 feel like they don't need help with their defense. If they can get an extra round here or there, it's going to make all the difference for them. Already a better look compared to when they last clashed on this map. Second forwards again. Was doing this earlier in the half. Might be waiting for a bit of util as well for the setup, but John QT is on towards Cat, and Jorgen must be dealt with. Dash back again. Flash forward straight from Cat just in case there is that follow-up and that pressure, but Zekken is not out of the woods just yet. Thrown out towards, into the bottom. Do they expect Zekken to be dashing to this angle? Looks like it. Hard clearance by Jonah P. And yeah.
Oh, good trade though. Through the smoke from Narrate. Just working off minimap to be able to get that.
Couple of bullets. Does the job effectively enough. Zelsis now on his turn to try and step right up to it. And again, that spam. Smoke's going to be fading in the end. Narrate. Great round.
Brilliance from Sentinels. They're using the wall as bait in mid. The wall isn't even there, by the way, but because it has been in so many of the previous rounds, G2 are conditioned to walk
7-5
down
is
mid
okay.
and try to get rid of that Vice wall
8
as part of their default. And
4
first they meet Zekken inside the smoke, then
is
Narrate
G.
is there spamming to, and Zelsis
G.
also playing from market.
My soldier ran in there blind. I mean, someone has to.
So now massive ultimates for both teams to close out in round 12.
Again from Zekken.
Full buy here.
Position, same smoke down. Okay, stray shot. Right to the noggin.
They're aware
One
of
thing
the
that I
danger.
find interesting is we did not
Must
see
have
an
been told
op on
enough. Okay,
second
you're gonna take
once,
in
and
contact
this is
here with
Jet's
the drone.
best
This time,
opping map.
There's no escape. Suppressed
Did he
them, there is no
lag?
dash out to safety. Zekken finally taken out. TP into the back. The reinforcements arriving over towards B, or are they, to cancel into the ult? It's
I think he
thrown.
lagged there.
Thanks for a bit of a loop here. G2 calling for a bit of a cooldown and now speeding up over towards A with the Armageddon. Safety net granted here for Sentinels.
But these B players can't really rotate over towards A.
Still Garden.
Yeah, they can. But I mean, like, fucking get up here, bro.
Light speed, and he's out of there.
Go, 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 go. What are you doing?
Your weapon back in the flash is impeccable. In and out, round to the side. Jorgamo with the movement, but bang! Cannot be denied.
Dude, if their team loses this, I'm tilted if I'm bang.
Son, it's already that 2v2 in this game of timings right from behind is taken. Bullet to the back there, execution style from Leaf, and it brings it just down to Zelsis to see what he can do in this spot. Steel Garden, even better. Leaf going to be backing away now, doubled up. Discipline to be played for these G2 players. Wrapping around all the way as well, not...
He's just baiting.
Anticipating, yeah, it is just bait. Trying to pull this one out all the way. Now they know he's not on it. Very difficult task indeed for Zelsis, so 7-5. Where we stand here.
That's such a big round to win, bro. They literally pretty much secured the map.
They are 2 rounds down, but the attack side is where they were really struggling.
I mean, they can still secure the map, but they gotta win the pistols here.
Really
statistically, I don't know if that's possible. We are 101 G2 for
After
pistols.
having lost in dominating fashion to Sentinels just recently, they've made the right adjustments on their attack half. And they're at the precipice, to be honest. If they play their defense well, the trophy could be theirs.
Halftime. Yeah, guys, what do I play, bro? Do I play some WoW? I kind of want to play some WoW. I don't know what version of WoW I want to play.
Yes, I am down here for a little bit of halftime fun with these two to figure out what they're feeling about the game. How are things looking? How you feeling? Are you happy with the results so far? Obviously, we know the results. You're not feeling too good. You just said it to me, but how about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather won, but the game's looking good so far.
Maybe I'll just run some Mythic Plus. What do you guys think?
But I don't want to root for either team for the sake of Bang's family and for the sake of Trent's family.
Okay.
I've been pretty unlucky recently, so I'm gonna keep out of it.
All right, who's impressing you so far, though? If you could be like, all right, yeah, they're frying.
Zekin's playing kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Zach is playing kind of crazy. We'll see if he can keep it going. Now, Emmy, I gotta ask you. Week 5 was a game against G2. That Icebox match. We're going to Icebox here. If Sentinels win, what did you kind of identify?
This guy looks like a
about
young
them?
Nathan
What
Fillion, bro.
See, the Sentinels have to do to take that match.
I mean, I think I said it. We were scared of them, but I think here, G2 just need to ante them well. If G2 ante their comp well, I think they'll take it.
All right, and what did you mean before by saying G2 wins the map before they basically get into servers? How do you combat that, or how do you just go against that power?
Teams just usually go in very scared. I don't think SEN have done that today. I think SEN have handled it really well. But most of the teams just go in, they're scared against G2, they give them the respect, they don't fight them. And that's why I'm gonna play it.
All right, awesome. Gentlemen, thank you for the info. I appreciate it muchly. We're gonna throw it back to the casters and get this one underway. Take it away.
SEN have definitely not been fearful of G2 on here
Am I
today.
crazy?
They weren't the first time they played against them as well earlier on in the tournament.
No, they've been very happy today to re-clear, to fight, to try to bring those engagements to G2, but the adjustments strategically that G2 have made here and how well they've played a slower style of Waylay might have set them up with an opportunity to win. Back-to-back chances at this America's Trophy. The victors at this year's kickoff. And after a tough, grueling road through the lower bracket, this would be their 4th win in a row if they're able to convert on the defense side of Ascent.
Be the sweetest of rewards for this G2 squad, but job's not finished yet. Still 2 rounds down for Sentinels. Not willing to give up so easily.
And I think SEN, despite being up by 2, they'd love a pistol here. It would mean everything to them.
Put them on the right foot forwards here. Knife against the back. It's going to force that nade out nice and early. Support.
Dash used.
Okay.
Dash used in the first 20 seconds to disengage. So that makes it really tough to send 4 players through A main.
Might have spotted on the minimap, I'm not too sure. At least the suppression came through, so...
Yeah, they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, they caught him. And here it is, re-clear core 4. Flash over towards the top, and salvos the
fact he got one, fuck it, dude. I'm fucking singing his praises, bro. Good shit.
All the way behind here in spawn.
Oh my.
This is a mad timing. He's got the read so well.
They're watching for top mid pressure.
They're so lit. Look how lit they are, bro.
Looked all the way up. Did they spot that one?
I think Bang.
Sure.
Yes, Bang saw it.
Yeah, it's pinged. Bang. Notifying
Nice,
the rest of his team. It's doubled up and held
shit.
here now. Get a bit of a move on once more. Marathon sprint across the map.
Well, you just know that B is undefended. If Leaf has pushed all the way out through B, then it's empty. These rotators for the defense are going to be trying to race you, and it's a fake. Sen ascending the footsteps in this direction.
See?
While the spike
Attacker-sided map, bro. I'm fucking
All on
telling
Valen
you.
indeed, and he's just caught that timing against it. Zekken was hard clearing onto the one side of things. It's caught out now. Reinforcements are going to be arriving. Desperate at that for G2, but time is of the essence again. 12 seconds. It's counting down into the round and a double face. Trent and Valen putting a stop to all of this here with only seconds remaining. There's no more chances now. It's run dry and shy.
GG.
And all they have to do is
Never
live.
mind. Defender sided for sure.
At this point, it's a pistol round win for G2.
Just kidding. I still think it's attacker sided. They had their ankles broken. They just fucked up the PP
type of team
main,
that
bro.
we expect to go for the force. They won some important ecos earlier on. There's that.
But that's good looks from what's to come. If I'm Sentinels, I'm not too worried about
in the
that.
end, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And it was Valen's decision not to overcommit. After Leaf died, he stayed on A just in case John QD was cooking up some kind of elaborate fake, and he was. So once more, Valen, with the slightest of better reads, ends up winning a massively crucial round.
There.
Creeping all the way up here from Sen. Nothing to really work with in this spot. Jorgamo's giving up control, at least towards mid. Cloudburst dash forward. Market control in the name of the game here for Sentinels, at least hoping that they can pull some G2 players out, potentially get a pick off of it. Jorgamo, seen it, that's a no-scope. If I've ever seen one. Even a little too fast to register for my eyes, at least, but Jonah P seals up potential weaknesses in their setup, and the walls really just delayed all of this here. Bang, still accurate as ever, classic in hand, but peppering them now with a bit of lead. The backside player of Leaf as well is going to be able to anchor this one nicely. Still mistimed. It was Utah by Jonah P to flash to try and help him out entirely. Spotting this one out, but running away with it. And yeah, here it is, finally flooding all the way back in for us. So G2 now even it up, 7-7.
Sen have got a massive uphill battle here. G2 won both pistols on a Sen and got 5 rounds total on their attack half. For how defense-sided this map is, it's going to be brutal. Sentinels need everything. They need the hero moments of earlier from Zekken, from Bang. Zelsis 4Ks from Pearl, the reads from John.
They keep showing the same fucking people, bro.
Narrate to step up. They need everybody online. And they absolutely must win this round. Of all of the rounds that you get on the attack side, this anti-bonus is normally your best shot at generating some level of momentum. Zekken
Right
down mid very early.
And he's going to be met. There's plenty of bodies ready to receive here on G2 side of things. Going for that refight as well. The paranoid
so much
utility. It was a
he still
window.
gets one.
Sidus gaps the Zekken plays in, and he was not blinded up.
That's a bit of a gun diff
It
as
must
well,
be
because
fucking
Jorgamo does
Prius.
actually hit him for 140. Zekken survives. He's used his dash though, so he's not really going to be useful at breaking through these choke points. And going through the Bucky here can be utterly brutal.
We've seen some filthy things with this.
Narrate doesn't have drone.
Airplane Bucky on a Sen. We've all seen the damage done, and that might just put a stop to what Sen were planning. They've called for a bit of a pause.
Zekken's deep down mid. Valen's fighting Bang. Smoke v smoke.
As it dissipates as well, there's timings and fights to be taken on either side here, and Zekken is still doing work once more. 10 HP doesn't matter. And Bang just slips his way all the way in. Turn of the head.
30 seconds.
Valen expecting it in a different direction here, but Sentinels are making moves now over towards B.
And it looks like they've managed to thread the needle and find that gap. Trent with it all to do. He has won some bonkers 1v3s this stage. But here he has no information about where the Sentinels players are. And Bang alone should checkmate him in this spot towards mid. And then you'd have to deal with Zelsis in B main and John on the site. Doesn't really seem doable. Especially not with a Bucky. I don't think that's the gun that you really want.
Looking for that one.
There we go.
But it's going to be heard. Sound cue from the weapon dropping. Bang immediately snaps round, so.
And it's actually important that you do not feed the kill into John QT, because he's 2 away from null command, and that could be Sentinel's ticket to winning this map.
And footsteps. What? Okay. Expected by Trent, apparently.
And it doesn't look like John's going to have an opportunity to farm up this ultimate. Do they play a slow round? Go for ult orbs. Feed him the plant. The problem is, if you feed him the plant and he gets ult, you've already got on site, so you've done the hard part already. Oh. Zekken does a great job in this round.
He does.
He perfectly plays the mid pressure. He knows that a retake's coming, puts himself in a safe spot, and then still manages to find a mid lurk for a second after being hit for 140. Zelsis is not, Leaf is not using the wall for mid information. They're playing crossfires in mid instead.
It forces a couple of eyes at the G2 players at least to be watching that direction. The drone dodged and timing. Leaf is going to be making sure to shore that one up. Back through market. Reclaims of the salvage as well. It's a dangerous position to be in. The rate, he's looking to at least make it a bit harder. Just the one before the damage is sent flying forwards and through. Leaf! Snappy. Just taps away, rips the head clean off, and even giving up that space. They heard the spike drop down, but they're willing to relocate anyway.
Leaf is so aggressive, so confident. He's the vice player. If he goes down in that spot, it's massive for SEN. But he's just... He believes in his own aim and his own read on the game so much. A has been weak for G2. It's only had these two players defending it the entire time. And the net is starting to tighten. But Valin, Jonah, they still have a lot of util to hold this off, and
G2,
Bang goes down.
Yeah, he does indeed. G2 are getting so damn active as well, though, with that deep push out through B main. Missed the timing for the backstab onto the cat players, but G2 are happy to play a bit further back. 2v4. Play the numbers advantage. Have faith in the retake at this point.
I'm a little bit surprised they even want the door closed, because they've got to find a pick here before the retake comes through.
Door's going to be broken at a moment's notice. Down to red. Alarm bells ringing. Zekken in through main, but he's going to be pushed out into the open. This drone, he's got to expect it.
Oh, he's dead.
Position, the stun is a good connection. Trent, though, still doesn't open himself up. He wants to play this one with the salvage, and he lets his team do the damage. Still Zekken, one to the grave with him, but Leaf. This guy's all over the place. So damn active across the map.
That's a good round for Sentinels. They should be able to fucking buy like crazy here, right? Oh,
in
maybe not.
G2's victory over MIBR, he dominated, and he looks like he's doing it again here on Ascent. The scoreline's close, but our expectations are weighted by what teams have done before on this map and how difficult it is to get the job done on the attack.
They're going to call a timeout.
I mean, he's wrong with that read, but he's been right with everything else. SEN not going for the tack timeout just yet, but they're knocked down onto an eco. It would be
Thank
a really
God
normal
Kaplan
time for
didn't call a
Kaplan to
timeout,
hit the
bro.
button.
Thank God Kaplan didn't call a timeout. I would have been.
Yes,
that would have been it.
Been allowing some really heavy walkouts. G2 have been pushing out and re-clearing the map, pretty similar to when we started on Haven. If you think back all the way to map 1, G2 were just pushing out constantly through A lobby, through mid, through garage. And Leaf's finding those same opportunities here on defense.
Just clearing up some of the confusion on the map. Through Leaf's lurks and also the drone up through mid, hoping that it might pull some players here. For SEN, they didn't really have much to work with. They got the knives earlier. We saw that. Zekken turns himself up to this Blade Storm now, and it could get explosive up towards the A side. Might put a lot of pressure onto Valin. Does have some support as well, though, from the two tree players, and here it comes. Flying forwards here with a paranoia. Just about dodged and avoided here, but Zekken's in, and the knives are taken away. Great flood attempt here from G2. Coming to the corner here, and a pop flash was anticipated. Valin tucked to the corner. One step ahead is G2, expecting the plays that SEN were trying to make, and Zelsis.
He's just forced to scurry away, isn't he? 30 seconds left. Love that 0 point from Jonah P.
My blind is dead.
Usually, the KO's are going to be throwing that kind of early on in the round.
Leaf's trolling.
20 seconds, 2 players in A main, no chance. Jonah picks up the final one, but it's his 0 point, the knife that just takes away Zekken's Blade Storm, and with it, any opportunity for a clutch for Sentinels, if we're being honest. Zekken had to be the playmaker, and he just got put in an impossible spot. He's got a classic in his hand by the time the exec happens.
I'm not gonna lie as well at this point, this is a very difficult ask for Sentinels. They're only down by 1 round, but the ultimates are being built up here on the G2 side. One away for some critical ones as well. Trent and Leaf will be getting theirs
they're
online.
having fun.
He has that null command waiting.
And an anti-KO setup here for G2. So if you do decide to run some kind of fast B pop,
got the 3-stack towards A with the Vice. Interesting. Teho Omen on B mid,
and not moving the
completely
wall either,
open.
keeping the wall in mid. So
I mean, I do
you
this
still have
sometimes
really
too.
good information.
Like,
unless
we
it
have a
gets
killjoy,
baited.
you just
They're
put the
pinging it.
killjoy alarm
Seconds
bot
running
here,
forwards
you
to
just
try to
leave it
bait
open, there's no bomb site mid. Full protection on the
Potentially about a
fucking...
response from G2, but they are passive enough that there's nothing coming our way. Walls to be taken out.
The only
Forces are
problem with
thrown out of
leaving mid
G2
open
here, but it's these G2
is you
players right here.
lose the ability to give
Under the
information
threat
here. You
He's
have to
turned up
slow
out
walk.
of the pan
But
and
the
into
sites
the
are close
fire.
enough.
It's Sentinels. 2 quick ones earned as well.
In certain
You gotta try and
situations.
deny this purge that Leaf is sat upon. They do just that.
Nice early use of the ultimate. Completely caught those players on tree. And bang, he holds heaven.
The strength by numbers idea.
Dominated.
Interesting.
9-9. Sentinels, that could have been a very dangerous round indeed.
Fine Waylay, I'm buying it up here.
Earn themselves up to
I'm
a couple
buying
big
it up
ultimates
here.
themselves.
Buying it up. Yep. There it
That's a
is.
huge one
Ops
for
in.
Sen to get on the board. You actually saw Jorgamo swap over to his shorty, because I think in his head he's probably anticipating the Vice ult coming through as well. And he's thinking, all right, I probably need to be swapping.
Jumped on Jonah, I kissed him on the lips.
Is it against the rules?
To stand up and kiss a player on the opposite side of the stage? Yeah, probably.
The NBA fans are wondering.
Yeah, they were. They were at some point.
We got the op.
But now
Where's
that
the
big
Waylay
goal
opping
command
mid
from
and
the
their
attack side
tiles.
should
Big
make
fight
things
coming in
slightly
here.
easier here for the defenders.
Saturate slows it
Wait,
down. They know where the
he
drone is
sold
coming
the
from.
op. Why did he sell the
He's
op,
barely
by
out
the
of there.
way?
Second, he's still alive.
Q combo.
I think that's a mistake.
forward.
That's a
Oh,
huge
he's
mistake.
right as
I
anything,
can't
doesn't matter
believe
now.
both teams
He's
are
been
choosing not
magnificent
to
today,
op on
hasn't he,
this
Bang?
map.
Just catching the perfect timings with the perfect off angle. And G2 react with Jorgen Leaf walking forwards, possibly straight into the arms of Zekken.
Yeah. Second has been able to backstab multiple
So
times.
easy
here, but
to
Leaf is
position
watching
change. It's
for
so
it.
easy
Oh, the
to
tail
get
hold.
safe
Hold on,
after
Armageddon's
one
going to force his
fucking
players forwards
fight.
as well. That is a pick your poison situation. You are stunned up, and my goodness, what a way to deal with it.
Oh, that's immaculate from Trent.
It's a 2v3, turned on his head immediately. Celsius,
And
you have
then
the
they win the
ultimate
round.
work
I mean,
with
like,
again,
sure,
Look at this, the
but, like-
positioning of Leaf. He's already here. I think he can hear it. Rumble of somebody's footsteps, convergent pass, just to slow them all the way down.
Launching thorns.
There is that uncertainty.
Fucking air rates lost mid, bro. This guy's running back and forth mid. Doesn't know what the fuck is going
With the
on.
util out in the open, doesn't expect that.
What a turnaround in this round.
Center literally
Bang
gonna
pulls
lose
out
this.
a phenomenal 2K. And Narrate can hear a Waylay fast behind.
Yeah, put in a squeeze now as a vice grip here. That's Thorns.
That's gonna be the score.
It's gonna get predictable. You want to get the plan here, just taps, hoping that it just pull one of these players out.
And you want to know why that's going to be the score?
Smart.
Because G2 went
Smart
too
these games as
low
well. Doesn't really open himself
on
up for it.
pistols.
Spamming, spraying away, but time is already going to be played. As long as Trent stays alive, it's going to be another one added to the tally.
They're so good at identifying what they need to do in these clutch situations.
Yeah.
Trent, never a risk there of putting his body on the line so that Narrate could win the 1v3. Take a look at the replay here, though. It's a perfect off angle to stop a play like this, a 5v3. And then Lee with his classic push out, and Trent with an immaculate 2K. I don't know how they get the perfect read that they're all in A main at that exact timing, but the combination of the ult and the stun, that's why he's a Teo master.
Oh shit. Yeah, timeout.
Reaction with the timeout, you can see it. On Sentinels players' faces, they are feeling it potentially. This is a difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, bro, Bang is fucking stressed,
They've actually
man.
been doing a
You see
decent
that?
job. We keep talking about the fact that it's going to be uphill, but Sen, they're kind of going 1-for-1 with these rounds.
Yeah.
Ever
Trophy's
since G2 won the pistol,
kinda
it's been
nice. It's kinda
3-2.
cooking, bro.
It hasn't been dominant for the defenders. They've been holding their own. But if they lose this next round, Sen
Alright,
are going to be
Mr.
on
Kaplan, what
an
do you
eco.
got cooking?
Couple of players swapping over, we can see, to light armor to try to soften the blow if they do lose this round. They're going to try to keep the economy going for as long as they possibly can. It's a game of endurance playing the attack side of Ascent. You're just trying to create as many opportunities as you can and see if some of them work.
Not just Ascent as well, it's best to find in general. These have been slow rounds being played. Maps that have been going deep. In part, both of these teams taking chunks out of each other, but G2 holding the advantage in the series and in the map for now. Sentinels looking to counteract it.
Blinding crack.
Always slow at the beginning between these two teams as well. They're just hoping that they can wait out a bit of the util. Knives Thrown at the beginning.
Knife clears over towards Catwalk. Thrown into A main. And they push Jorgamo out of middle. So Sentinels using their utility to try to create safe avenues for them to split into sites. G2 look for a little bit of info. Don't
Kaplan's
see too
usually
much.
pretty good post-timeout, so
I would
let's see.
expect ults to be expended massively in this round because it's super important for both teams. If G2 win it, they're going to be feeling elated.
Yeah.
Like the trophy's already theirs.
Full sprint up through mid by Zekken, just hoping that the wall was there to potentially bait out, but now knows that it's not. Immediately set their sights over towards A.
And A is weak.
Underhand with the flash. G2 are playing passively enough though that this is a chance for them. Jump spot, Jonah P.
What a hold.
Yeah, they're willing to give him that control as well. And that refight is called for with a paranoia, but up through mid now. Door in your face.
They're overcooking it.
You have the salvos to instantly break this one. You can pop out onto these players, but a Steel Garden is again going to be lying in wait here from Lee. He's going to be slowing down these players out towards the back of the side and dashing over. Jorgamo denies him at the doorstep. Saturate, potentially even better, but Zekken does put him in his place. All the way forwards now with only 15 seconds left. This is G2 jumping on the chance. Death by 1,000 cuts indeed. Sentinels between a rock and a hard place. There's no chance for them to get this spike down safely, cleanly whatsoever. 11 rounds
1,000 cuts, Kog'Maw? If you know, you know.
Only two more rounds needed before G2 hoist the trophy back-to-back winners in Americas after making 4 consecutive finals. We've never had even a repeat winner in Americas. And SEN have got to scrap together a bye. They have to. It's pointless trying to let G2 get to 12 and hoping you can win 3 attack rounds on Ascent in a row. Even though the bye is going to be bad. A Stinger, a Guardian, a Bulldog, and a dream for SEN. Somebody has to make the play to right the ship. Otherwise, they, with double map ban, are going to fall short.
We saw plenty of hero plays from these Sentinels players, and again, as you said, Josh, this is ass off once more. Oh, he's got stuck. He's out of there, but he does. Oh no, no dash available. No dash
they
available.
Don't expect him to
deny
be
this,
out,
at least with the kills. Second, forced into a difficult spot. He wants to fight his way back out of it, but Jorgamo! Right from behind!
No smoke over towards Market. I think Zekken assumed that that was being covered. Then again, it was all chaos.
Bang up towards Cars.
Kill him. Oh.
Just with the movement as well, the refract in the back pocket, Jorgamo. Tail end of the duration of that one still, he's alive. That means a player advantage for G2 to play around.
Narrator's been holding his ult for such a long time. Can he find some value out of it? They've got to turn a player disadvantage.
Otherwise it's going to mean G2 up to 12 here. Up to series point in our grand finals. Push forwards, pop flash in. And this is it, Narrate. Just being swarmed and overwhelmed. G2! One step away.
3 chances.
Tragic.
3 tournament points.
Tragic.
They already won in kickoff. It was a 5-map blender between these two teams. And Sentinels beat them for the first time in VCT recently in the upper bracket semi-finals here.
Woo! Let's go, baby!
But now G2 can feel it. They want to establish a year of dominance here. Just a week ago, they were thinking whether or not they'd even qualify for Toronto. And now they've got 3 opportunities to lift the Americas trophy again and come in, skipping the Swiss stage in a phenomenal spot for Toronto.
Carving themselves into the history books of Americas, at least domestically. To be one of the first teams to get their back-to-back, it's up to Zekken to try and put a stop to that. These dreams and hopes of G2 themselves, but already dashing forwards. This guy has to be the tip of the spear, but he's just being isolated still. They deal with Leaf. Armageddon in through the back. Finds a bit of time and a bit of space as well, but they have to deal with Trent, and it's a stun against the back wall. He's penned himself in, skipping and hopping all the way through as well. Zekken isolates it, finds that fight in DG2. Just relentless. Making a move on now, still with that player disadvantage. Jorgamo though cleans it up onto the side. It's all down to him into this spot. Sentinels earn themselves that breathing room.
Oh, this might be GG though, this round here.
When you're watching through Zekken's eyes, it looks chaotic. He's been tangled up by Leaf's setups in a couple of these rounds now, and yet the value provided from that Taeho ultimate completely isolated Trent, and he did whiff on the stun. He's almost stunned himself. A little bit of nerves in the final moment. And brick by brick, track by
Look
track.
at this guy,
the Sen train
bro.
at the moment keeps chugging, but 2 more opportunities for G2. On a massively favored half, and they're taking attack timeout.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, if Kaplan doesn't take it now, he might not have a chance to even talk to the team. Everything has to be perfect. Or at least the outcome has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, the way the Sentinels got that round was a little scrappy, but it got the job done, and that is what matters. They've run out of ultimates, though. Narrate was holding that Taeho ult in his back pocket for so long. And Kaplan, he's actually not so much giving the info here as just giving his team time and space, it seems to fill something out. It's John that you can see calling out a couple of ideas, some adjustments.
Just those 2 rounds that stand for Sentinels. Every single round that they've been able to earn on this attack side, it's been torturous, man. It's been absolutely torturous. If you take a look at the timeline, only 3 so far on this attack side round, and now they have to do 2 back-to-back. Bring this one all the way to OT to stand a chance as well, to not go out, just to even get a chance of competing in that 5th and final map.
So much of Sentinel's conditioning recently in the last few rounds has been around B and B splitting. Leaf adjusting the setup slightly, but gets caught by the suppress. But Sen are messing with their heads. Instead of going for the B split, they're making it feel like one and getting ready to pounce on A. But G2 are already getting good information. They've posted up Jorgamo with Trent to clear out this angle. The drone goes deep, and Leaf can start leaning A.
Jorg could take a peek here if he wanted to, at least with the refract, but not choosing to. Sen are quite open as well to that push, the potential of it at least, in through mid, just holding for now.
And G2 look like they're playing A for retake. I mean, they want to use, by the look of it, Trent and Jorgamo's ultimate to close this out. Zelsis.
Tricky wall to try and at least break down. Spam coming his way on top of it. Eventually, removes it. One obstacle dealt with, but Sen have got plenty more waiting for them on the other side of the A side here. A lot of util expended.
But again, I think it's going to be a retake. We're looking towards Trent and Jorgamo and how much value they get out of the ults.
Huge ults.
Sen are controlling Catwalk and Tree.
Yeah.
They're not closing the door and locking themselves in on site.
Because they know they have to fight forwards here. Quick,
find somewhere to play before we all get
timing, a
fucking
window of opportunity
destroyed.
here against G2, and here it is. First ult going to be sent out. John QT already catching it. Conversion pass second. He's isolated on a bloody island. Slow to a crawl, but he still gets the one. Sentinels, can they do it? Pull it back from the brink, but again they're isolated, cut out of the sight, divided away from it, and spammed, and stuck away. Sen dropping like flies, and for G2, in all eyes, into the hands of Trent, and he delivers them that back-to-back trophy.
An outrageous way for the map to finish. Much improved over the last time that they played a Sen. And this team, like I said only a week ago, were grueling through the lower bracket.
GG.
Against 100 Thieves in OT on the final map, against an EG team that looked like they had the momentum. These players didn't even know whether they'd be in this spot. Didn't know whether they'd even qualify in 3rd place. Never mind 1st place. They make history today. And Ender had talked about it again a week ago. There are only a few games that set your legacy in Valorant. And they managed to avoid elimination in the lower bracket and cement that legacy again today.
G2 making history, and here it is. Your Stage 1 2025 America's Champions, G2.
Doing what everybody expected of them, but started to doubt. This team has been dominant throughout the whole of this year domestically in Americas and just started to slip up in recent weeks, but they fixed it at the perfect moment. The input from Josh, the reflection from Valen, the individual brilliance coming out from people like Trent, Lee.
Good shit, G2.
And fixing
well, our best hope of winning the
that they've
fucking
made
tournament
like a Sen,
in
for example.
Toronto.
Poetic the way that they finish.
Absolutely. Grueling is what they'd probably describe their path to even get here. And each player getting their time in the sun.
An awesome moment as well, you've got to imagine, for Jonah P, who's going to be probably the sole Canadian heading towards Masters Toronto, and with a trophy in the back pocket as well, waiting to see which teams are going to escape from the Swiss stage to march into the blender that is G2, because they get that opportunity to look at the rest of the squads, figure out the meta potentially too.
Absolutely.
Trent will have time to revamp if he wants to move away from the Teo.
Well, with all that being said, we're going to send it down to Riv on the stage.
Got such a
of our
aura, bro.
America's
Look at this
Stage
guy.
1 champions. Take it away for the Verizon post-match interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your back-to-back kickoff and Stage 1 champions, G2!
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Jonah, it feels right to start with you. I'm glad you're on this side. You get to go home. What are you excited to show everybody when you get back to Canada and get into the game?
Just the amazing culture there. Everyone's super friendly and nice. And, you know, playoff hockey in Toronto right now. So hopefully Toronto makes it to the second round, and I'm going to take them to the game.
Heck yeah, that's actually my little question for you. What should they be looking for? What do they look to do when they're out there? What should we be having fun with?
Honestly, you can do anything. Everyone's super polite, you know. You just got to be polite yourself, and everyone will respect you. And, you know, it's just a nice vibe there.
All right, be polite, eh? All right, man. Good. GG's, great game, and good luck in Toronto. Valen, we got to touch on the fact that...
Why did Rippington do that, bro?
We got to touch on the fact that you were pretty hard on yourself at the end, saying I wasn't being the leader I wanted to be. What was that for you?
I think I was focusing too much on myself, and I should be focusing on the little details for the team. I want to make sure all guys around me succeed, and me winning these last couple games and getting into Masters Toronto was credit to Josh for kind of opening my eyes on that. He said, Jake, you're being too self-centered. You're being too self-focused right now. You got to reopen your mind to the team. You want to win games. You want to be the best IGL in the world. You got to lead the 4 people around you to do so. And I kind of remembered that, dialed it back a little bit, and I'm back, so let's go.
So that's what I'm talking about. Were you the IGL you wanted to be today?
Yeah, I was the IGL I wanted to be today. Back-to-back champions, couldn't have done it without my team. I love these guys. Let's go to Toronto and win that shit too.
Awesome, congratulations, my man. Congratulations, the hype is screaming up here on stage. Leaf, we've talked about it before, and coaches past and present have talked about, you know, the flexibility in your play, how much you study the game. What allows you with this squad to bring that info to the team? We're hearing you talk a lot and hype people up. What is it about all that study that you bring?
I think everybody is also individually very smart, and they just have we have a lot of belief in everybody. You know, if somebody says something, we try to do it, and even if it doesn't work out, you know, we go next. And I think that every single team that we play against, you know, we know what to expect for the most part. You know, there's some curveballs that hit here and there, but I think that we are just one of the most prepared teams in the world.
Awesome. Best of luck. We just moved to Toronto. Trent, you have been a major core of this team since the beginning. Did you think that these would be the results, that this would be the stack as you guys started to get on that dynasty train?
Bro, also, can we talk about
just look at the guys
this
around us.
jersey being way too big for fucking Leaf?
I mean, it's honestly surreal.
Can we get a jersey that actually fits him, bro? This thing's like a dress on him, bro.
And I just think we're going to keep this going.
All right, man. Thanks so much. Best of luck in Toronto to you. Jog, when you came on this team, you said, I want to bring a trophy to the squad. Now you have 2. Why did it mean so much to you, and what does it mean to be able to get another one from the squad?
I mean, these guys came from Ascension except for Nate. So getting that first step of Ascension trophy, that was the first step, right, for them.
Right on.
Me coming in, getting the kickoff trophy with them, another step. We were so close to Bangkok, unlucky, right, whatever. But, I mean, this is the start for everything right here, right? This split right here is going to solidify the rest of our season, so yeah.
All right, awesome. Very cool stuff. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck in Toronto. Josh, usually here I ask you kind of to talk about the guys, but I actually wanted to talk to the guys. Tell them why they've been so great. What are you feeling about it, and how happy are you for them today?
Honestly, I'm just happy that you listen to me. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, I'm just a slightly older guy just telling slightly younger guys how to play this game, and, you know, I was pretty bad when I played, so it's just like, yo, try to do these things, and like, I know I can't, but, you know, but they believe in the bigger vision. They know that the team play is like paramount, and that's how we like destroy teams. But like, I just want to cap off at the end. Big thanks to my coaching staff. Like, they're not here. Anders and Shaq, they've been so pivotal in these like back-to-back games, and like getting the analysis done, and like we work overnight preparing the boys. So really, big thanks for those too.
I mean, with the bye, you guys still played some of the most rounds we've ever seen from you in a playoff. So congratulations, Coach. Best of luck heading to Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your back-to-back kickoff and Stage 1 champions, G2 Esports! Don't go anywhere. We got more coming. We got the post-match, but right now we got the draw show for Stage 2, so check it out.
Yeah, I text you. I got a lobby coming in
Stage
hot.
1 in the books, we've got a sneak peek at the future of VCT Americas and what
like,
lies ahead
it
when
was
our teams
not on my
return
desk.
from Masters Toronto.
Val Missos just asked me. Oh fuck, he asked me like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I was watching the game, bro. I'm down.
This one is a game changer because we'll have all
like
new
crisp or
groups.
easy.
Alpha and Omega will be redrawn based
Five
on the final
man.
Stage 1
Yeah,
standings.
I'm down.
In Stage
I'm
2,
down.
all 12 squads will battle for 5 straight weeks of single round-robin play, and the stakes are massive. The top 4 teams in each group will qualify for the Stage 2 playoffs, and the top 2 finishers in playoffs automatically punch their ticket for the year's most prestigious event, Champions Paris. Every match counts in Stage 2, because Americas has 2 additional slots for champs, and they go to the remaining top 2 teams on our championship points leaderboard. Points are up for grabs every single day of
Americas have
regular
2
season
additional
competition,
slots?
and will also be awarded to the top 4 teams in playoffs. With new groups and new matchups in Stage 2, any team can make a run and qualify for Champions Paris. But only one will lift the trophy and go down in history as the region's best. Who will rise
I'm in
to
your
the
chat.
occasion
Okay, I'll
and
join
become
in a sec,
VCT
bro.
America's champion? Tune in
Bro.
to find out. The next chapter of VCT America starts July 18th.
They're
And you
like
can see the
anybody
drama
can
unfold live
join
and
or
in person
anybody
at the
can
Riot
make
Games Arena.
champions, and then they
Tickets go on
showed the
sale
2
after
worst
Masters
teams in the
Toronto.
league,
We'll see
bro.
you there.
That's fucked.
Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Valley Sports NA for all the latest news, exclusive video content, and more.
Boo-boo-doo. Oh, Mazinho.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Stage 2 Draw Show. Now, half of our teams are going to be switching groups following Masters Toronto, and it's time to find out who is making the move. Now, I'm going to be assisting Nick Weatherlow here from the Comp Ops teams. Guys, give it up for Nick if you don't mind. I told him I was going to do that and embarrass him. Totally worth it. Now, of course, let's go over the rules real fast and how this draw works. Now, using the final Stage 1 group standings, teams will be paired up based on their final placement. So you got Alpha 1 and Omega 1, Omega 2, Alpha 2, so on and so forth, right? We have 3 bowls here, and inside of those bowls is number 1 and 2 teams, number 3 and 4 teams, number 5 and 6 teams respectively, and it sounds a lot more complicated.
Is anyone else confused?
Pretty easy. We're going to be drawing teams from each bowl, and those are going to be the ones that will be switching groups. So in the end, half of the teams will have swapped. That is important to keep in mind because we did this test, and oh my God, the results can be crazy. So, Nick, let's do this, Papa. Pool number 1, what we got? Oh boy. So now this is going to be... And remember, we swap the
This guy's
teams
nervous
around.
as
We
fuck. That's
swap them
crazy.
around,
Oh,
and
poor
it
guy.
is G2 and Crew. So now G2 goes to the Alpha group, and Crew goes to the Omega group. There you go. All right, Nick, let's hit him with the second one. And remember, it's only half, so we're only drawing 1 bowl
Pairings
from
based
the
on...
bowls. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. Okay, what we got here? Oh. See something. See something. Number 3 seed, 100 Thieves in Cloud9.
I don't know what's going on.
100 Thieves now move across, and C9 are now Alpha Boys. There you go. Boom. That's crazy. Okay. Nick, want to do the honors for number 3? What do you guys think of the group so far? Yeah! Someone's excited. Oh, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. It's the 6th seed, Loud and Furia are going to be swapping over. So there we go.
Wait, so is this the grand final?
There we go. There.
Yeah, the grand final's over,
And
bro.
here are your groups
I'm just looking like at the groups, but
in the
I don't even know what's going on.
G2, our champions of stage 1, Sentinels, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, 2G, who got, I think Spike's coming back, and Furia también. Oh my god, that is crazy. And then on the other side of the Omega group, you got Crew, MIBR, 100 Thieves, NRG,
Yeah,
Leviathan,
SEN lost,
and
bro.
Loud,
It's
folks. Guys, give it up for Nick. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And now let's go ahead and bring up our players. We got EU, Oxy, Zelsis, and Valen. Come on up, boys. Come on up. Come on up.
Oxy, Zelsis, and Valen.
Yeah. Guys, give it up for our players. Give it up.
SEN put in a good try. They actually did a lot better than I thought they were going to do. It seems like they started heating up.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good. We never really beat this
Yeah,
team, like,
they did
ever, so
okay.
this might be like an insta-loss.
Just in the tournament in general, not in the game per se, but like just.
Oh, in the tournament? Yeah. Yeah, in the tournament for sure. I didn't expect them being in the finals.
This is going to be quite problematic. How you feeling about
They're
this?
looking pretty poo-poo early on.
It says my computer monitor is got 280 right now. It doesn't feel like 280. It's weird.
Zels is saying you guys are regular season merchants.
Your Photoshop open is some BS.
Oh, I do. Fuck, I'm a computer. Damn.
Okay, all right. I
Have
appreciate
everything
that. All right,
over.
Zelsis, my man. What you got here? You got G2 in your group with you. You guys just played an incredible series. You got C9, EG, 2G, and Furia. Crazy stuff there.
Bro, Mr. I don't know if I told you, but my monitor, bro, my monitor's fucking cooked, man.
What happened?
I don't know. I must have bonked it or something somewhere at some point in the past 2 weeks, but now it's like fuck. The screen's like cracked on the side, and there's like lines going across it. It's just cooked.
Oh my goodness gracious! Well, guys, look,
that's
this is it. These are
modded
the
setting,
groups, and we want to thank you all so much, not just for the work you put into the season, but for taking the time with us here today, guys. Give it up for our players one more
That's
time.
wall hacks, bro.
Yeah. Team hacks.
Now, of course, we want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching Stage 1.
Bro, I have like a